Gadget World for the best technical advice.
Hello people, welcome to yet another interesting episode of Gadget World for the best technical advice. As we claim to be, this particular show is mainly aimed at introducing the best gadgets to you guys so that you people can keep yourself abreast with the latest technologies and gadgets that's available in the electronic market. So let's get started with today's episode. The next gadget we have for you is a smartphone from Lenovo. Well, as we are sure that Lenovo is kind of respected name when it comes to PCs and laptops. But that doesn't mean that the users are going to go gaga when this particular brand is going to introduce a smartphone of its kind. Especially in a market where the gadgets are at stake and also different gadgets are available at different price ranges, the Lenovo smartphone is going to get a really big competition. So let's get in detail about the specifications of this particular smartphone. So guys, here I have Lenovo VAIO Z in hand to be demonstrated. Well, Lenovo VAIO Z, the Chinese company's flagship model, was launched in India at a price range of Rs 35,999, and it is basically known by its code name K910 because it is the successor model of K900 from the flagship, yet another flagship from Lenovo. The Lenovo VAIO Z has shown quite a significant upgrade when it comes to the design features compared to the predecessor model, that is K900, which was a bit more bulky. When it comes to the Lenovo VAIO Z, that is the K910 model, it is a lot more sleeker and also it's more rounded and curvier towards the edges. So as far as the design features are considered, it's definitely going to be quite impressive, and also it gives a metallic kind of a finish, but where in actual it is actual plastic. But still, the overall view of the design is pretty much appealing. The front panel of this Lenovo VAIO Z is mostly glass. That means when it comes to the panel, it's a Corning Gorilla Glass coating, and towards the front you get to have the speaker, and also there is the secondary camera, that is a 5 megapixel camera coupled with a dual LED flashlight, and towards the bottom of this Corning Gorilla Glass coating there are 3 capacitive shortcut keys available which gets lightened up when pressed. And also towards the back of this Lenovo VAIO Z is a 13 megapixel primary camera which has got a dual LED flashlight along with it, and there is this speaker embedded towards the metal body, and towards the left of this Lenovo VAIO Z is a volume broker, and towards the bottom there is this USB port facility provided. So in total it's kind of a metallic finish and all the buttons are totally incorporated into the metal body. So it's pretty impressive build as a whole that this Lenovo VAIO Z has got to offer. Coming to the internals, the Lenovo VAIO Z is the first flagship model from Lenovo that uses a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 chipset processor that houses a 2.15 GHz of quad-core processor paired with a 2 GB of internal RAM. This Lenovo VAIO Z runs on an Android 4.3 Gen 11 operating system, and it has almost all the basic standard connectivity aspects that makes it quite in par or maybe better than the rest of the smartphones that's available in the market. to the final verdict of Lenovo VAIO Z. Well, it is one of the best flagship model that is available from Lenovo, which has got almost all the basic or maybe better connectivity features and almost all the internal features compared to its predecessor models of K900, and that is available at a price range of Rs 35,999. The next gadget that we are going to take from our kitty is a smartphone from the known brand of LG, and that is LG Bello. Well, this particular smartphone from LG is claimed to show a better advancement in the camera features and with a better wider screen. Let's see if this particular gadget has got all those interesting specifications so that it can attract the gadgets freaks out there. So here we have yet another flagship model from LG, and that is LG Bello. With a 5-inch display, it comes in a 480 by 854 pixel resolution. So from this, it's pretty much understood that it's not quite satisfactory to expect even a better screen resolution and also a better viewing angle. Obviously, the IPS LCD display panel, which has got a capacitive touchscreen, is definitely going to be quite satisfactory to make it quite in par with the rest of the smartphones that's available in the industry. But with its 480 by 84 pixel resolution, it's definitely not going to meet the standards that the users are going to expect from this LG flagship model. LG Bello runs on an Android 4.4.2 KitKat operating system, and the chipset being used is a MediaTek MT658 chipset that houses a 1.3 GHz of quad-core processor paired with a 1 GB of RAM. And about the camera features that this LG Bello has got to offer, it has got a primary camera that is an 8 megapixel camera that houses a dual LED flashlight, and also a couple of sensors is also involved with it. And the front facing camera is a 1 megapixel camera, so that you can take selfies but not to a beautiful extent that you get to have in the other smartphones that is particularly concentrating on getting really good selfies. And about the battery features that this LG Bello provides, well, it provides a battery capacity of 2540 mAh. That means it gives about 10 hours of talk time and 600 hours of standby time on 3G. So moving on to the final verdict of this LG Bello, this particular flagship model from LG has got almost all the features that one is looking for in almost all the smartphones that's available in the industry, because it's very much in par with the rest of the smartphones or flagship models that's available in the industry. But except for the fact that its display features, because of its low resolution, is not going to be quite satisfactory. So apart from that, this LG Bello is definitely going to be quite satisfactory for the users with all these gesture shoot and touch and shoot features enabled. So in total, it's going to be pretty appealing smartphone that's available from LG. So this LG Fino black flagship model from LG is available in the market at a very affordable price range of Rs 13,000. gadget we have for you is an Ultrabook from Sony, and that is Sony VAIO T series laptop. In 2012, Ultrabooks have been surrounding almost all the markets out there, and it was available in a lot of different shapes and sizes, like almost sleeker, slimmer and stylish redefined. Ultrabooks were available throughout the market, and Sony as a flagship we are quite familiar with, which introduces Ultrabooks that are pretty much expensive and also on the other range when it comes to the price department. The Sony has introduced a Sony VAIO T series Ultrabook for the users, which almost falls in this particular range. The Sony VAIO T series Ultrabook from Sony comes in a diagonal display size of about 13.3-inch display, and it runs on a 1.7 GHz of Intel Core processor and has an internal storage of about 4 GB. On the very first glance of the Sony VAIO T series Ultrabook, you're definitely going to notice its aluminum and plastic kinds of a finish. And on the very first impression that you're going to have about this particular Ultrabook is that you could hardly find any difference from its predecessor models, that is the VAIO Z series and the VAIO S series Ultrabooks. Yes, the first impression that you're going to have about this particular Ultrabook version from Sony is that you hardly get to find any much difference when it comes to the design and the build of this particular Ultrabook. The VAIO T series, when it comes to the good aspects, you can say that it's pretty much affordable when it comes to the flagship products of Sony. And not just that, the design features have shown pretty much improvement, even though it's not too appealing. But even though the other features like all those ports, facilities and the other specifications are almost similar to the predecessor models, and that can be claimed to be quite a good thing about this particular Ultrabook. So moving on to the cons of this VAIO T series Ultrabook, well, we could say that we would have a definitely not so appealing screen features, and in addition to that, the shallow design, the shallow keypad features doesn't give much of a really good typing experience for the users. So that is yet another bad things that you could sum up about this particular Ultrabook from Sony. This particular first Ultrabook from Sony, that is the VAIO T series Ultrabook from Sony, is available at a price range of Rs 40,000. The next gadget is a camera from Nikon, and that is Nikon 750. Well, this particular gadget is the latest full-frame DSLR that's available in the town. The Nikon D750 is the third full-frame DSLR that's been launched by Nikon this year, sitting between the more affordable D610 and the pro-grade high-resolution D810. Nikon D70 inculcates almost all the features between these two DSLR cameras. The Nikon D750 has introduced a new 24.3 megapixel sensor, and the screen resolution is claimed to be quite same compared to its D610 model. The rugged body of this Nikon D750 is moisture and dust resistant, so this is yet another impressive feature that could be considered while comparing it with the D610 and D810 DSLR models that's been introduced by Nikon. The icing on the cake is that the Nikon D750 is the first DSLR that's been introduced by Nikon that has got a built-in Wi-Fi, and in addition to that, a vertical tilting of screen is also enabled in this particular DSLR model from Nikon. So talking about the build quality of Nikon D750, it uses a magnesium alloy for its rear and top edges. So this Nikon claims that its Nikon D750 camera is weather sealed. So that means with its magnesium coating, it's definitely going to be weather resistant, and as I've already mentioned, it's dust and moisture resistant. The Nikon D750 DSLR is powered by ENEL15 lithium lone battery that is quite same, that's being used same as in D610 and also D810 DSLRs of Nikon. So the battery features, you can't expect much of an improvement from the predecessor models because it's quite the same. So moving on to the final verdict of Nikon D750. Well, it is the first full-frame DSLR that's been introduced by Nikon this year, and it has almost all the relevant features between that has been incorporated from its predecessor models, that is D610 and D810. And this particular DSLR from Nikon, which is claimed to be one of the smallest and the lightest DSLR that's been introduced by Nikon, is available at a price range of Rs 1,74,000. So with this, we are coming to the end of this particular episode of Gadget World. Hope that the informations we shared were quite interesting and informative to you guys. So until we meet again in the next episode, it's me Devi Narayan signing off. Bye and take care.